Hi everybody. Before you come to our session on Tuesday about addressing key selection criteria in job applications, I'd like you to have a look at this quick presentation so that you've got your background knowledge in place and you're ready to go and share with everybody. Addressing key selection criteria is one of the areas that I know really worries a lot of library technician students, but you don't need to be too concerned about it. It's a skill you can master easily. It just requires some knowledge and practice like most things, and it isn't that scary. So first things first, what are key selection criteria? Well, they're the list of key requirements that employers have for a position, and they use them to match up the skills and experience of the applicant, that's you, with those that they think they need for the role. Key selection criteria are usually listed in a position description or an advertisement for a job, and applicants are asked to provide answers to how their skills match up with that list of criteria. You'll see key selection criteria listed in job descriptions or in advertisements or information on how to apply for the jobs, and you'll have to hunt them out because often they're quite hidden within some of the documentation that you'll get. They usually have a heading, key selection criteria, and you need to make sure that you find the list of things that are the definite criteria that are going to be used for that job. Now you'll see that sometimes there's a list of essential and a list of desirable key selection criteria. The essential ones are the things that the employers absolutely insist that you have. You need those to be considered for the job. The desirable ones are the things that the employer thinks they'd quite like, but they might be willing to overlook them if you don't necessarily have them. Key selection criteria look at things like your qualifications in the library field and other areas, your experience or your proven track record, the knowledge that you have about the field, so your theoretical knowledge and practical applications of it, and the abilities you've already got in the area and how you can develop them and build on them. Now, I've included a list of key selection criteria in my emails to everybody coming to the session, but they're going to include different things for different roles. Some of the types of things that you might see on KSCs are things like, do you have a tertiary qualification? Do you have an understanding of the role of public libraries in the community? Do you have a high level of technology skills, especially things like using library systems? Are you able to work as part of a team? Can you demonstrate that you are inviting trust and cooperation with your fellow team members? Other things are more practical, like do you have a current Victorian driver's license? I've sent you a list of some key selection criteria. Make sure you have a bit of a look through them. When you're asked to address key selection criteria, you have to make sure that you address every single one of them. Even if you don't have the skills in a particular area, they still want you to make an attempt at answering it and perhaps draw on some of the skills that you've got in other areas of your life that can kind of show how you're going some way towards having what they're looking for. They really want to see that you're keen and you have the ability to learn. So even if you think you can't answer one key selection criteria, you must attempt it and you must try to look at some of the areas of your life where you think that you go somewhere towards meeting that requirement. When you're answering your KSCs, you need to have them on a separate form from your covering letter and your resume, separate piece of paper, and some of them could be a paragraph or two long. You're going to individually address each criteria under a separate heading, exactly the same headings that were used in the description the employer gave you. So if they say, number 1, must hold a current working with children's check, then you will answer by saying 1, must hold a current working with children's check, and then underneath that your answer will be, I have a current working with children's check with an expiry of December 2017. Your answers need to provide proof of your skills or experience. It's not enough to say you've just got the skills, you're going to have to provide proof. Now, a lot of people find providing proof the hardest part about answering KSCs. What you can use is something called the STAR technique to help you write your answers. In the STAR technique, you describe the situation where you got your experience in this area. So let's say the question's about customer service. The situation where you got it might have been working in a fast food restaurant. You describe the task, that's the T in STAR. What was the task you were doing? Well, you were the operator in the drive-through and you were taking orders from people and you were relaying those through to the kitchen staff. What was the action? What did you do to achieve the outcome you needed in the role? Well, you followed the procedure, you used the computerized ordering system, you confirmed the orders with the people who were buying things, and you liaised with the kitchen on delivery times and so on. And the last in the STAR, the R, the result, what happened? How did your actions affect the positive result? Did you reduce the amount of times the customers had to wait? Did you get a good report from your boss? Were you named Employee of the Month? Those sorts of things. So remember, think about describing the situation you got your experience in, the task you were doing at the time, the action that you were performing, and the results. Now we're going to practice writing in those STAR techniques when we come to our workshop. When you use the STAR technique, it really gives you the chance to really think about your answers and to prove your skills. Now you can use your relevant academic, employment, social, voluntary work, any of those sort of examples to support your claim. The other thing is you need to read the whole job description and think about it when you compose your answers. It's really important that you refer back to the job description and think about, why are they asking me this? Oh, it's because they need me to do such and such. And you need to practice in advance and brainstorm with others. Don't leave this till the last minute. One of the reasons why we're doing this session in the middle of the year is because I want you to start building your skills right now. When you use the STAR technique, it really gives you the chance to think about your answers and to prove your skills. And you can use any relevant experience that you have. It could be academic, it could be voluntary work, it could be committee participation, whatever. But the other thing you need to do is make sure that you always read the whole job description and think about it when you compose your answers. Think about, why would they be asking me this? What task is it they want me to do in the job that they require such good communication skills or management skills or whatever? And the best thing to do is practice in advance and brainstorm with others. You need to be ready so that when a job comes up, you feel confident about doing this. Now, lastly, before our workshop on Tuesday, I'd really like you to have a look at some of the key selection criteria I've sent you. Think about how you might answer them. I want you to choose at least one key selection criteria that you'd be confident about answering. Come along to the session knowing that, okay, this is the one that I think that I'd know how to answer that. I'd feel really cool about it. I also want you to choose one or more where you think you'd like some help with it. That way we can share some of our skills and experience around. Come ready to practice writing answers to the KSCs, because the best way to do that is actually put pen to paper or keystrokes to computer and build up your practice over it. I'll see you on Tuesday, and I look forward to us having a great day.